Hi everyone, Spencer Hutchins, State Representative for your 26th Legislative District. We are about 3/4 of the way through this legislative session, only about 2.5 weeks left before we hit the end of our session. We just got through House of Origin cutoff last week, which means all the bills we were passing out of the House needed to get over to the Senate, just right behind me. And that's a big moment in this legislative session because a lot of the bills that we're working on may not make it past that deadline and will die on the House side, similarly on the Senate side. So it's a big moment. We've gotten through it, and now we're working on Senate bills. As you know, I'm the assistant ranking member on the Transportation Committee. That is one of our 3 budget committees here in the Washington State Legislature. And listen, we are a ferry district. We have people in our district that rely on our ferry system, and it is no surprise, I don't need to tell you, that our ferry system is in dire straits right now. So I have a bill with my friend Representative Andrew Barkas, the Republican ranking member on the Transportation Committee, to ask the governor to do something, to fix our ferry system now. We can fix it now by turning around, by changing course and saying instead of spending $400 million per ferry on hybrid electric ferries, we can ask the governor to declare a state of emergency on our ferry system, to order up diesel electric ferries that we already have the plans for that cost half as much, and we can get those in the water in half the time. So instead of waiting till 2028 and spending hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars per ferry, let's get ferries on the water now to serve you, to serve the people who rely on their ferries. Unfortunately, that bill has not received a hearing. I continue to push that solution. This is a real solution for the people who depend on our ferry system. Housing has been a big issue. As you know, I serve on the Housing Committee here in the state legislature. I work in housing outside the legislature, and I will tell you there's been some policy that has been extremely problematic, I think, and very troubling to me as it relates to our housing market. We just passed out of the State House of Representatives a rent control bill. And while I agree and appreciate the need to protect renters from the exorbitant rises in rents that they can experience, what this rent control bill will do is it will send landlords out of the market, it will turn rental housing into home ownership, and really deprive a lot of our renters from having the kind of available housing that they need. And what it will do is have the adverse consequence of raising our rental rates and increasing costs across the board. So this is not a bill that I support. I'm watching closely what's happening in the Senate as the Senate takes it up, and I will continue to work on realistic and legitimate housing policy that will decrease costs, increase the amount of rental housing available, make it easier and more cost effective to build the housing that we need in our communities. So that's something that I continue to work on, and that rent control bill is something I continue to watch as it goes through the Senate process. Another real major issue facing the state of Washington right now is the access and affordability to quality health care. Washington State is one of the worst states in the nation for reimbursing our healthcare professionals for Medicaid. And that's healthcare that serves people who have financial need. And so we have got to increase those Medicaid reimbursement rates to make sure that our doctors and our hospitals are paid to provide healthcare to the patients that need these services. Unfortunately, what this legislature has done for too long is not increase those Medicaid reimbursement rates. Well, this year we have a proposal before us in the State House of Representatives that will increase Medicaid reimbursement rates, but the only way that the majority has said they will do that is if we create a new tax. Well, I am here to tell you that we have record-breaking revenue surpluses in the state of Washington. Hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars in excess revenue that we had not planned for. And if we can't get serious about prioritizing these social services for the people who need it with existing dollars without raising taxes or creating new taxes, then we are on the wrong page. I have a proposal that would fully fund Medicaid all the way up to the level of Medicare without raising taxes, without creating new taxes. This is a bill that should get a hearing. This is a bill that should get consideration because this can solve real problems for real people who need it without increasing all of our cost of living. The question is, do we have the political will to do the right thing? That's what I'm working on. As you may know, 6 initiatives were certified to come to the legislature by the people. Over 400,000 people signed these initiatives to put them before the legislature on a whole variety of issues. Well, we've received word that the majority will hear 3 of those 6 initiatives, and I am most excited about and most grateful for a hearing that we will have on the police pursuit bill. Listen, I have been talking about this since I took office. We have a major problem around crime and policing, drugs, fentanyl, Our communities are suffering under a crime wave, and I have been hearing, we have all been hearing from our law enforcement crying out for support from the state government to actually be able to do their jobs and keep our communities safe. This initiative that we will be hearing in the legislature will reverse course on police pursuits, allow our police to do their jobs and keep our communities safe. To me, there's nothing more important than that, and I am glad that we're having those hearings. The hearings aren't enough. We need to take action on these citizens' initiatives. So as we near the end of this session, with running full blast, working on Senate bills, working on the priorities that matter to you back home, we are working on real solutions that will fix Washington and provide a better future for all. That's what I'm working on here in Olympia. That's what I'm committed to, and I look forward to being back in touch to give you an update as we near the end of session. Take care.